Just learn, Father, how to lead others to worship you, Lord, that when we're on the stage singing, Lord God, and playing, that we are having our own worship session with you, Lord God, and that other young people, other adults will follow us into that same session and worshiping you and glorifying your name. It's also really, really good to have Mark Nelson come helping us lead Youth Band Practice and giving us some structure in his knowledge and wisdom concerning instruments and just worship in itself.
So what is our focus? What are we going to be focusing on as followers of Christ that just happen to be playing music for a church, for a youth group, for a service, for an altar call, for an offering? What is our focus? What are we trying to get accomplished? Psalms 100 says, "Shout to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him singing with joy." Worship is a focus.
Just as you can tell, as when they wrote it, they really spoke from their heart. It brought you to the atmosphere of, I want you, Lord, I need you more. And it just takes you to a place of desire and hunger. It brings you more to worship, it like draws you.
The word worship, it has some definitions like the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration. So reverence is this kind of, attitude of you're above me and you're awesome and you're great, so I'm just going to be very humble and submissive to the person that you are, right? The person that you are makes me reverence you. That's awesome. And not only give worship to God, but take the people that are participating in the activity with us, along with us for the ride. But if they don't want to go, we go without them. You have to allow your talent to translate into the gift of worship. You have to look at it and say, okay, guitar, drum, bass, you are an instrument that will be used now for the worship of God in this song. No matter what I do with you at any other time, for the next hour, you are dedicated to this activity of worship.
Just that like every note and riff played and every cymbal hit, it's like everything they played was precise and that they planned it, that everything they did had a meaning behind it, that they're not just kind of playing, that they have the sound they're going for.
Basically every person singing, even the backup singers, had a very valuable part because they were carrying the song when he wasn't singing. Like you said, he was in the background, but everyone was so important. They weren't just there, it wasn't just background, they were ushering it in.
La 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 la, fa la 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 la, la 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 la. One more time, do it. La 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 la. One more time, do it. La 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 la.
You could hear the click of just sudden change from it going to great worship to even better.
Even though they weren't strumming the same exact thing, or the organ, trumpet, whatever it was, wasn't playing the exact same thing. It all came together with his voice, and it was just, you could tell they were all going in the same direction.
If worship is the act of giving God this adoration and admiration and reverence because of who he is, praise is the act of doing those same things but for a slightly different reason. It's because of what he's done.
Just the instrumental part, it was I think it was like a trumpet or something. How it was going really smooth, and then it hit an odd note that kind of was different from all the ones, and you could hear it build back up from it. It didn't change tone, but different, the structure of it. And I kind of like that.
Timeliness is a big factor because I'm packing this 2 hours with so much that if we miss 15 minutes, we will miss an entire module of things that we need to get accomplished because everything that we're going to be doing is going to be building on top of something else. The same thing with missing a rehearsal. It's not fair for everybody else to be here for rehearsal and then you get to come on Wednesday and play like you were here and everything was fine and you did your job. This is part of our job. This is part of our commitment. And one of the things that we have to really stress as far as youth band is concerned is that it is a commitment. You are committing your time to be here on Saturdays and to serve on Wednesdays. I have to be responsible to you to make sure that I'm not wasting your time. That I'm here on time, I'm here early to set up so that when you get here, things are ready to go. It's not fair for me to make you wait. But at the same time, the same respect has to be reciprocated in the fashion of show the appreciation, show the commitment that you have volunteered for this. You love to play drums. You want to play guitar. You love to sing. And you want to do that in service to the church and in service to God. So come get all of it out. Come get all out of it that you can. So timeliness is a big deal. You don't know what tightening your diaphragm means. You're just going to flex your stomach muscles really hard. And the reason you do that is because vocally, your pitch is not just determined by your vocal cords. It's also determined by the amount of air pressure coming out of your body as air and vibration passes by your vocal cords. I like the way you closed your eyes. That was good. I like that. It was sincere. It was good. You watch a lot of so much. No,
Just to be close to you.
Just to be close to you.
perfect. That's all the words to the song. That's the entire song. By the time we get to rehearsal, the song and the information for the song, unlike today, because I wanted today to be surprised, but the song and the information for the song will already be available to you. Everything from chords to words to notes to key, everything. Your preparation has to start outside of rehearsal. You cannot wait until you get here to try to learn the song, because we're coming to rehearsal to rehearse the song. You should already at least know the basic structure of the song before we get here. That feeds into work ethic. You have to be prepared to work. You have to be ready to put in time that is valuable to you to get something out of these rehearsals. Your work ethic has to come with you to rehearsal. It has to leave with you, and you have to use it throughout. You know, you go to school, you have a lot going on, you're learning, you're doing homework, you've got families, some of you have jobs. We all have outside of this activity commitments. You have things that are important to you that you want to do. You got leisure time, you got downtime, you got all this stuff pulling on you, and blah, 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 blah. But you volunteered for this, so you might as well get as much out of it as possible. And that has to do with how much you put into it.
Just to be close to you.
Just to be close to you.
Just to be close to you.
Is it awkward looking me in the eyes? Because it was awkward for me to hear it. I mean, you're a nice guy, but it was kind of weird.